Are your cattle about to go out on pastures that are starting to hay off, dry off from frost, or just getting mature and more fibrous? And you want to know, how do I stop them going backwards? If that's the case, stay tuned to this video, because I'll go through some information about that. Hi, I'm Prtichgard from AgSolutions. What I'm going to go through is what happens in the rumen as feed matures, and how we can actually manipulate that with some supplements to get the best out of the feed in your paddock. The reality is, it rains in spring most times, and grass starts to get going and we have a nice green pick. At that point, that grass is full of protein and moisture and energy, but not much fibre. Around about the middle of summer for about 2 months, it's ideal. It's got the right amount of protein, the right amount of fibre and energy, and it's really good. It's about 30% fibre, great digestibility. That's when we see our livestock like cattle and sheep really perform well. They're getting fat and it's looking great and we feel relieved. Then a natural thing happens, the grass matures. And as grass matures, what does it do? It says, I want to reproduce. So it starts putting its energy not into its leaves, but into the seed and the flower head. What happens when that happens? Well, protein comes out of the leaves and it goes into the seed head. The plant itself actually becomes more fibrous. So the cell walls change and they get harder to break down. What does that mean for your livestock? The protein in the feed is less, the energy is less, and it's harder to digest. That's what really happens every year. When do we see it in the paddock? We sometimes think it takes frost for this to happen. It is happening anyway, it just becomes more visible when we don't see green in the paddock. How do we know it's happened? The cattle actually tell us. If we look at what's coming out the rear end, start looking around at the manure. If it's nice big dinner pats and they're only about 1 to 2 inches high, it probably tells you you've got enough protein in that diet, whether it's from supplement or whether it's from the grass itself. If that manure starts stacking up and it starts looking like horse manure to begin with, but then it can get quite high and thick, that's telling you there's a lot of fibre in that grass that they're eating, not much protein or not much energy. What does that mean for your cattle? It means they've probably got bellies full of feed that they can't digest. That real fibrous material can take up to 36 hours to come in from one end and go out the other. And if that rumen's full, you can't digest any more until the microbes have actually eaten it. That's a really good point, because it's actually the microbes that eat the feed that's in the rumen. So, with a ruminant, we should really be feeding the microbes, because the microbes feed the animal. What do microbes need? They need the right protein and energy and fibre to work well. The population in the microbes is over 1 billion in the actual rumen, but they're quite specific to different diets and needs. So as the feed changes, the microbe population changes. So what happens when that feed matures? The fibre increases, protein goes down, and the energy decreases. The microbes say, well, I don't have enough protein, I'm going to be a bit lazy today, I'm not going to digest much, I'm not going to reproduce. What can you do to fix it? Well, if you add some protein meal, and great one is the Graze and Grow, for example, where we add urea and protected protein meals to stimulate that rumen. What does the urea do? Well, the urea gets absorbed pretty quickly and those microbes start reproducing. So they come back to life and they start reproducing so they can digest more feed. But the urea doesn't last long in the system, a couple of hours and it's come out the other end. So those microbes start bleeding down again. But if you use protected protein meals as well, that protein's available longer term in the rumen, up to 24 to 36 hours, and the actual microbes keep getting that energy feed that they need. That makes a big difference. Animals can come in and have a supplement once and go out and graze effectively all day. What does it all mean for you? If we get that rumen bacteria working properly, we can get the animals to eat another 20 to 35% more of the feed that's in the paddock. What does it mean? You're no longer losing weight, you're getting better weight gains. That can mean an extra increase of 0.3 or 0.2 or even 0.5 depending on the feed quality for your cattle. When to start supplementing? As I said, when that manure starts stacking up, start early. Don't leave it too late. When you see the cattle have gone backwards, you've already lost production and money. Do it soon. How much do they need? Just enough to make that manure soft. Talk to our AgSolutions team about your size cattle, what amount of supplement that needs to be. Because we want to be cost effective. We want the right investment to make the difference to the animals, but not have you spending too much money for the return. Why is the Megamin range so important? In all our products we have a complete broad spectrum range of macro and trace minerals. They're the small things that make a big difference to your livestock production. So again, if you want to know more, give us a call on 1800 81 57 57 or check out the website agsolutions.com.au, or come see us at Beef Week and talk to the team there. We'll be in the Nutrient AgSolutions tent. See you later.